It is still legitimately one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me. Oh, hello there, my dears, and welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Senpai. You know what's up when you see this wine glass. Today we got some Lipton's iced tea. For those of you new to this channel, my name is Elizabeth. I'm a published author here in America, and on my series Storytime with Senpai, I share stories about my life as a published author, which gets a little weird sometimes, as well as odd stories from my childhood, such as that time my Disney-obsessed art teacher challenged me to an art battle to teach me a lesson, quote unquote, and you should watch that. As well as stories like that time my work was stolen and sold on eBay. That actually happened to me. I'm not even playing. But today's story is quite a special one because it is legitimately one of those stories that every time I think about it, I die a little inside. It is still legitimately one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me. Horrifying. And it happened right in front of clients at a convention filled with thousands upon thousands of people, and there were tons of people passing by when it happened, and that one moment you wish you were into alcohol to drink away the pain. No, actually, don't drink, kids. But seriously, guys, today's quite a story. So grab yourself some juice, sit back, and get ready for Mama's most embarrassing moment of their life. Subscribe! And before we get started, if you enjoyed this video, remember I have an entire playlist filled with a ton of other crazy story time videos. The link to the playlist is down there in the description box below, guys. So, without further ado, let's get started. This story took place when I was fresh out of high school and I was ready to pursue my dreams of getting published and sharing my work with the world. Oh my gosh, what a time that was. I was just learning about things like anime, manga, and comic conventions, and I learned about a special place at the convention called the Artist Alley. And for those of you who do not know what an Artist Alley is, it's that really special part of a convention where there's exclusively just booths filled with aspiring artists. You get to sell your artwork, and you have the potential of networking with artists and possibly industry professionals, girl. So I was super hyped about getting a booth at the Artist Alley, and it made it so much more fun because I was going to be going with my boyfriend. We were both going to be sharing our artwork and selling an art book that we had been working on together for like freaking 4 or 5 months. He was my boyfriend back then. He's my fiance now. Please check out his artwork on Instagram and his YouTube channel. He will be posting there again really soon, girl. We're just in the middle of a move, so be patient with him. So anyway, we were so ready for this, but the day it came to actually going to this convention, we were literally in the car, shaking in our boots, ready to go home, looking at each other thinking, what did we get ourselves into? I want to go home. We were literally saying that to each other. And then my dad dropped us off at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City where this humongous convention was taking place. And girl, we were so nervous. We were just little kids right out of high school. Oh my God, even thinking about that nervousness is so bad. It lives in your soul forever. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. You just want to vomit and go home. Like, that's literally what I felt. My dad was all emotional, just envisioning how this was the first step in my career. He's so precious. Like, honestly, he's so supportive. We went and got our little badges from the front desk. They walked us over to our booth, and the first sign that things were not going to go our way was our booth was literally located directly behind a pillar. A pillar! In order to see my customers, I had to do this. We were like, no one's gonna find us here. This is gonna be a total failure. The one good thing though is right in front of us, there was a publisher's booth, a really big publisher at the time called Tokyo Pop, and Tokyo Pop was right there And we were like, you know what, we might actually get some customers, because if people see the Tokyo Pop booth, they'll find us. Lo and behold, the people started coming, the customers were rolling in, and Mama was doing portraits of people in like anime style. I charged $5 a portrait, and it got crazy real fast, girl. Oh my God. I'm not even exaggerating to you when I tell you we had a crowd of people in front of our booth. It freaking coiled past our booth, around the corner, a bunch of people standing in front of all the other artists' booths, to the point that our neighbors were complaining to us saying, can you move, you people? They're blocking my booth. And I'm there like, I don't know how to control these people. They want their portraits. What am I supposed to do? It got to a point that somehow one of our customers stole a chair, put it in front of our booth, and one would sit in the chair. I draw their portrait, they pay for it, they'd get up out the chair, and a new person would sit down. I didn't even tell them to do that. The customer did it themselves. It got so real, so fast, and girl, I was drawing faster than I have ever drawn in my life. I remember standing and being hunched over, just drawing so quickly, just trying to get these out. And I could feel, the heat in my head. Oh my gosh. And I don't know if that was really stress or if it was just adrenaline, but I could just feel it building up inside of me. And if I would have known better, if I wasn't so young and didn't understand what was happening to my body, maybe I would have sat down. Maybe this embarrassing moment would have never have happened. Subscribe. So then what ended up happening, right? This really nice man and woman came to our booth asking for a couple's portrait. It was super nice. I was drawing it. I was hunched over, drawing, working really hard, having conversations with them. And I began to feel something right here in the bridge of my nose. And I kept going, thinking it was, a koozie. Thinking, oh, I need a Kleenex or something. So, it wasn't. Let's just put it that way. And so I kept sniffing, thinking, I'm not letting no one see no koozie in my nose. I just kept on sketching, playing it off, purposely not tilting my head upward to look up at them, because I did not want them to look up my nose. I kept sniffing, and just kept on drawing, and then it happened. A single red drop fell on my drawing, and then another, and then another. Literally just, I was like, oh! And then I touched my nose, and it was just blood city, girl. There was blood all over my artwork, and I had never had a nosebleed in my life. I didn't know what was happening to me, and I remember just like looking at my artwork and then looking up at my customers, and they were both shook. They were concerned.
Are you okay?
I was speechless. I didn't know what to do. I looked around my fiance, he didn't know what to do, and the two people were just looking at me, blood all over what they just paid for. And then they were really nice, and the girl gave me a napkin to wipe my nose and stuff, and they were like, don't worry about it, that happens to us all the time. And then the guy with his eyes closed while nodding, he said,
yeah, we lost a lot of good bowls of cereal that way.
I'm so serious, he actually said that to me. And if I'm not mistaken, I offered to redraw it for them, and they said, no, it's alright, just keep the money. They just felt really, really bad. I think they bought a print from us or something. That had never happened to me. Apparently, the stress of the amount of customers that I was getting, and just the high energy and the adrenaline, and then being bent over all that time while drawing that many people, I think that's what caused the nosebleed. And the thing is, you might be thinking, oh, I'm sure you got a lot of people. I kid you not. When I went home and counted how much money I made, it was over $500 on portraits. And I was charging $5. Do that math in your head for a second. That's 100 people. 100 people. It was lit. But the convention went really, really well for us. We sold out of a lot of prints. We sold a few copies of our art book. We drew tons of commissions and portraits. I learned my lesson about undercharging for full color commission, because people will take advantage of you if you undercharge, just saying. And when my boyfriend, now fiance, had left the convention that night, I remember us both looking at each other and saying, this experience, this is how we know this is what we're meant to do. Being able to sell my work and have people appreciate it was like nothing I had ever experienced at that time. Now I have people all over the world who read my book. I have people all over the world coming to see me at my author events.
This is adorable. That's my baby. She made my baby.
I've had, oh my gosh, people coming cosplaying as my characters, bringing me fan art at conventions and author events, and conventions actually appreciating my work and inviting me as a guest author, and thinking that there's even anybody in the world that could have even appreciate just a random person like myself sharing what they love with people, and that's really nice. So my dears, that is all for Storytime with Senpai this time, guys, and I have some crazy story waiting for you in the future. Please let me know what you thought about this story. Has this ever happened to you or anything close to this? Am I alone in this? And has this story scared you away from going and being a part of Artist Alley? Let me know in the comments down there, my dears, and be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And until next Tuesdays, and sometimes a bonus video on Fridays, please take care, God bless, and do not be afraid to nerd out. Take care, guys, and enjoy your juice.